What's up, y'all?
It's the world famous.
You're listening to The Darren Green Show.
Right here.
What's up? What's up? What's up? I am your host, Darren Green, back with another episode. This is episode 137, and I'm here with my lovely co-host, Derek Dahl. We're here for this
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
How is it going today?
It's going really well. I'm excited about today. First of all, this is like our first morning show.
I know, right?
Yeah, we had to get to the things. Have to wake up early in the morning and get into the mess because the world is burning, honey, and we're here to fuel the flames.
Period.
How was your weekend? Well, how's your week been so far?
Work and trying to get this last semester right because they really trying me. They really trying me at this damn school. I'm telling you right now, if something go down, I'm definitely it's gonna be some problems. Yeah, I'm dealing with this school because apparently now that I'm old enough where I'm a dependent of my taxes or whatever, like I can't have a Parent Plus loan. I'm like, so what the fuck? Why are y'all doing this shit now when it's literally like this literally is my last semester? It's like colleges are such cash cows. And they don't care. It don't matter. Like they'll get away with it. I'm not coming out my pocket this X amount of dollars just for the rest of this damn semester. Girl, let me tell you something. You got a payment plan? Right. Shit.
Well, they do. I mean, education costs in this country, unfortunately, and I'm right there with you because my thing's like shit. My education will be free. Give me all this money. I'm gonna take my degree, and then y'all figure out how y'all gonna get y'all money back. Or y'all can just pay for it, like we're America, one of the wealthiest countries in the world. Mm-hmm. Because you want me to go out here and make all this money and create all this GDP for you throughout my lifetime. I'm pretty sure you can educate me for free.
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, it's just part of the deal. Just do it at this point, Darren. Just do whatever you got to do to finish.
Yeah, and
go out there and live your life and go get that money.
Get that money, honey. Get that money. Well, I mean, yeah, I think that's definitely what I'm going to start thinking about doing. So now how you been though? You can talk about your week.
My week has been pretty cool. It went by kind of fast too. I've really just been working on a story. I'm part of a news and story collaborative here in Newark. And I've just been like working on this article piece/interview that I was really like nervous about because it took a twist that I wasn't expecting. But it's going to be really good. I'm excited. I feel like I'm usually excited about any project that I'm on because like I've come to like do the damn thing. You know what I mean? Like, give me the ball, I'm going to dunk it for you. But this is something that I wanted to do for me. And as a community or a resident reporter, it allows me the opportunity to really showcase some of the beauty, some of the magic of our city and our county, and also gives me a chance to create discussion around some of the things and issues and areas that we may need a little more conversation and correction and all those things. So I'm excited to be in that space. My deadline is the 1st. I'm gonna try to.
Oh my god!
Right. Oh my god. I'm excited. I'm excited about it. And then after that, it's the next thing. So I'm just the dollar's trying to stay busy. I'm trying to stay out of trouble, y'all.
Yes.
Idle hands of the devil. They say idle mind of the devil's workshop, and idle hands of the devil's bear the devil's puppet strings. So I'm just trying to keep my hands and my mind busy and focused on the next big thing. I got another song coming out soon. So
hey.
Right. But I want to go to I gotta get the chop video done first. I'm not going
You gonna have me in it. Look, I'm ready to be out. Look, let me tell you.
It's gonna be there's gonna be room for everybody in that video because I'm pretty sure. Well, for this being my first one, I want my friends in it, and it's gonna be fun. That's all I can say. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good time. So yeah, that's what life has been like for me. Just living, loving, and
Second.
living, loving. What? Yeah. Yes. See this glow that I have?
It's glowing, and you got that make that bitch hate again hat. Okay, let's.
Oh, because today
is definitely the day.
Today is this day. So let's get into it. Let's get into it.
We got to talk about. We got to talk about the bottom. The baby. We got to timeline this. We got to definitely timeline this. Okay, so week after the Rolling Loud event, there was a clip from Dababy's performance, which he made some homophobic remarks concerning he did a call to action saying that, raise your phone in the air if you a man and you ain't suck in the back of the parking lot or whatever, or if you ain't got AIDS or whatever, and it's the AIDS or HIV or whatever. Yeah, real insensitive, hurtful to a lot of people that's actually dealing with this virus, and also people in the community as well, people in the LGBT community as well. And after getting called out, his response was that it was a call to action and this is a performance, and my gay fans know I wasn't trying to disrespect them. My gay fans don't have HIV and AIDS. They're not junkies. They're it was, when I tell you the PR team on this artist, like, they are just in shambles right now, because every time this man talks, tweets, does anything, it's like this whole, like, what are you doing? Okay, let's just start there, because then we'll get into the people's responses and people jumping in. Let's just start here.
Okay. So I literally said yesterday, like, being a publicist in this business has its highs and lows. And I bet if he had a PR team, a real firm working behind him, they were probably pulling all their hair out this week. And, it's just like Chris Brown gave the best advice. I was shocked.
It took Chris Brown
of all people, gave the best advice of the whole week. He said, go do your show, perform, and then get off the fucking stage. Okay? Shut up. Shut up. Like, and it's like every time Dababy talked or made a post or whatever, it's like, this is getting worse. You should just stop. Just stop. Don't say anything else. Just stop. And let your PR team do their thing. But I was like, he can't possibly have a PR team, because I would have quit on him this week. Ain't no way. You're just making a bigger mess. My price just went up.
Not my price.
Right.
My price just went all the way the fuck up. I don't know what he thought he was trying to do here. What I think he was trying to do
is get canceled with Tory Lanez, so he could be with his
not
friends.
Cancel, but like profit off of outrage marketing. Which that's something that people say Lil Nas X is doing, but he did it better. You disrespected groups of people, like you disrespected a lot of people that probably is in your fan base, because there's a lot of gay people that listen to Dababy. First of all, there is a lot. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter play him, to a lot of OnlyFans community, they play him or whatever. Like, there's a lot of people that play your music. You offended a lot of people, and to sit there and say that your fans don't have the virus, I'm like, oh, my fans don't have the virus. They not junkies. They not out here just getting dick down and then this and that third. I'm like,
right. You have hundreds of thousands of fans. You don't know what the fuck these people doing.
Like, did you do like a survey? Did you do like a what? Where did this come from? And I think because a lot of people was like, oh, why? Because I had to unfriend a lot of people. I had to really get people together and stuff like that. And I just noticed I just cannot talk to certain people about situations like this. I think because it's like, why are you so upset about it? I'm like, I'm upset about it because I thought Dababy was different. It hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
That because we seen him work with Lil Nas X in the whole Panini remix, and I thought, yeah, that was a cash grab, whatever. That's that was something. But he did it. He remixed his song. It seemed like they took a picture together in an award show. Like, he seemed like he was real cool, and it showed representation of black straight men not being homophobic. And then you do this. Like, I'm like, what the hell?
But so here's the thing, right?
It bothered me.
So with Dababy and like past action, what he said, like, it for him, now this is my opinion. But y'all know how I leave how I base my opinions, right?
Right.
What he said was ignorant.
Mm.
Now, as far as being homophobic, because we use this word a lot, and it usually homophobia it's rooted in a fear of.
Yeah.
And sometimes there are certain actions and behaviors that are socialized behaviors. And sometimes people sometimes are just dumb as fuck. Like, let's be honest. Like, most people are just dumb about things that they're not experiencing. And considering where he comes from, how he grew up, even his persona in music, it's like this wasn't beyond him. Like, I'm not surprised. I wasn't surprised. I was just like, wow, so soon. I mean, there was just so much going on. But the reason I said it is because there was so much happening that night at Rolling Loud. Like, not only did you, after the whole public thing between Meg and Party on Twitter or whatever, he performed right after her, played her song, then brought out Tory Lanez, and then played another song that he did with her. So it's like, it felt like organized trolling. And so for him to
outrage marketing.
Right. And I was like, this is karma. I said, because somebody in that audience leaked that on purpose. Like, oh, yes.
Open that up.
Oh, yes. Or, you know what I mean? Like, it's like people just aren't really conscious about what they're doing and what they're saying, and try to walk through without repercussions. But I also feel like for Dababy, what was upsetting, it was just disappointing. I was very disappointed. I remember Dababy when he was Baby Jesus. I remember him being in New York, in Manhattan, with that fucking baby suit, not the one he has now, like the first one with the little white baby with the diaper. He was out in New York with a big ass fucking diaper on.
Wait, Dababy, the artist? That what?
Dababy, yes, was in New York with nothing but a diaper.
I remember that.
And chains.
Mm-hmm.
He was performing his music on the street. He had a team of like maybe 6 or 7 niggas who were pushing his mixtape. Like, I remember him. I remember being in the city and seeing him and being like, wow, that's how you do it. Like, get your music out there. I'm like, someday I got to be out here with a motherfucking crown and robe on, rapping on top of a car, trying to get my stuff out. Mm-hmm. But when I saw him like 2 years ago, when I saw his music video get picked up, you know, the one where he was in the, you know, the male, I can't remember the name of the song, but you remember his first major video that went.
Yeah.
That went big. I was like, oh wow, look, he made it. You know what I mean? So I was like, wow, that was someone in my lifetime that I actually got a chance to see out there, like just grinding to make it happen, and then to watch them get where they're going. And so now it's like, you really just tried to commit career suicide.
Yeah.
For what though? And I'm like, now, and the message is so fucking outdated. Like, where did this come from? What sparked in your brain to bring this message as if we were in 1991? Like,
this shit was too direct.
What is happening? Did he catch his boyfriend sucking dick in the parking lot?
That's what people were saying. Like,
why is he so upset? What happened? What was it? How?
My whole thing is, when I first seen this, I was like, wow. I mean, I even though all that I said before, like I said, I wasn't surprised or whatever, I wouldn't be surprised or whatever, but like, I still feel like I'm more upset at the reaction than the actual event, because, okay, fine, whatever. If you would have just shut the fuck up and not said nothing after it, because we knew you wasn't going to apologize, and if you was going to apologize, it wouldn't have been genuine. So you should have just shut the fuck up and not say nothing. But you continue to tweet, and you continue to try to gaslight us, saying, "Oh no, I'm saying people." You said people in general. Raise your phone to hand if you ain't suck dick in the parking lot. No, you said men, and then one of your mans in the background was like, because they dudes be mad, and we knew what you were talking about, sir.
Right, but I also think that was targeted towards another artist that was there, possibly another male artist. But you know, I'm not Wendy Williams. This is allegedly.
Oh, not allegedly.
I don't think now, as far as them bringing Lil Nas in, and I think that Lil Nas was brought into the conversation
That came after T.I., and we can
that
get
came after T.I., but Dababy's response on Instagram, like almost like, please just shut up, you're making this worse. Is that when you go into this fight or flight mode with your career, because you really are gambling with your career when you realize that you pissed off the gays, because gays have a history of mobilizing.
Okay.
Unlike a lot of straight people, they've never had to really coalesce around anything outside of like maybe civil rights if you're black. Straight people don't have to coalesce around much, but LGBTQ people fight for space all the time. HIV, AIDS, the stigma that comes with that disease has been something that our community has been fighting for almost 40 years. You know what I mean? So for those type of comments, that the ignorance, and the way that it was just so blatantly ignorant, sends people into a spiral. And so of course you're going to get backlash. You should have known you were going to get backlash from speaking on other people's sexuality. You should have known you were going to get backlash for speaking about HIV and AIDS and literally ostracizing people who have it and making them feel as if they're nasty. You don't know who was in that crowd that had HIV.
You don't know how they got it.
You don't know how they got it. You don't know, anything like that. And I was like, it was just so dumb. It was so ignorant. And then for him to double down on it and then to make it as if, well, I should have the right to say these things if everybody else has the right to be free. Your freedom has nothing to do with you diminishing other people's lives. Like it's not included in your freedom, because if that's how you truly feel, then we have the freedom to make sure that you don't make another dime. We have the freedom to make sure that you take whatever money you made, take this money that you made during this time, and you better invest it and hope it multiplies, because you can't get any more from us. And the way that the industry is designed at this moment, understanding how important it is to be inclusive, especially with, there's a reason why Lil Nas X was allowed the space. I'm not going to say it's just talent alone, but there's a reason why Lil Nas X occupying that space means something. Eventually, hopefully, we'll be able to see more LGBTQ artists, but it means something. Dababy, you ain't got no diamond record. T.I. ain't got no diamond records. You know what I mean? Like, at this particular moment, people are very aware that you are to treat certain people with care. Now, equality comes in its own form. Yeah. Because Lil Nas X could say something stupid or do something stupid, his ass could get canceled too. Yeah. The only difference is they're mad that because of the things that he's done, that he's openly expressed, that outrages them or makes them feel uncomfortable, they don't have the power to cancel him. They don't have the power to remove him, because they have to deal with it and stay in it and be like, okay, well, they're here and we have to just. Yeah. Nas X makes people uncomfortable. The idea of having, homoerotic imagery or, this hyper masculine space, because hip hop is still a very hyper masculine space. That's why most of the women who are successful have to rap about fucking niggas and how wet their coochies are and all this kind of stuff, because it's a hyper masculine space, and that's what the consumption level has been. So for a Dababy trying to create a direct contrast in this moment, I feel like it's like a moment of overcorrection, right? They're just trying to make sure that they still can maintain their space. Yeah. Being toxic masculinity, because
I think their space is under attack because other people are
in it,
like Lil Nas X, are
being successful at it.
But the thing about it is, though, it's not diminishing what you have going on. You can still,
and that's why it's ignorant. It shouldn't. And I said he's operating in a space.
And that goes into T.I. really, because he came out with a statement. He got on live. People putting their 2 cents into it. We'll get into it. T.I. was saying, "Oh, if Lil Nas X can kick his shit like in peace, then Dababy should too." My thing is, you're literally saying that if Lil Nas X can be who he is unapologetically, then Dababy has the right to be homophobic.
Yep,
unapologetically.
And you know what? Here's a moment. I agree.
What do you mean?
I agree with T.I. I agree that if Lil Nas X gets to speak his mind, gets to showcase himself artistically and creatively, gets to own who he is, gets to create space for other artists who don't fall into some little small ass box.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that Dababy has the right to do the same thing. And you know what? The difference is, I also believe that every action has a
reaction,
and there's going to be rewards and consequences for those actions. So T.I. is absolutely correct. Now, as far as kicking it in peace, I don't know about all that, because anytime that Lil Nas X does something, there's not peace, there's ruckus, there's outcry, there's this fragile masculinity complex that comes from men and women. And
the pick me game.
But the difference is how he moves through it. He says his shit and goes on to the next thing, keep making his money, blah, blah, blah. Dababy, on the other hand, because what you are doing is actually harmful to people. Like, you committed violence on that stage. People don't understand that when you get on a major platform, the one that he was on, or the one that he's on, because he got on his response and was talking about, this is what happened at my shows. This, you can't get it from a 5-inch screen. Like, nigga, your words don't change just because I saw it on my phone. If I was there, I would have thrown a shoe as well.
Yeah, because someone did throw a shoe at him,
or a bottle or something. You know what I mean? Because this is
like, they call this great.
Right, because clearly something went up. Clearly you had a minor aneurysm or a stroke during your performance.
Yeah,
and you talking this crazy shit. But with T.I., this old ass man jumping in like, oh, he should be able to kick it in peace. You know what? You're right, but there should have been a part 2 to that. Every action has an opposite reaction. There are consequences and rewards to those actions. So whatever the consequences are for Dababy being who he is and expressing his free thought or whatever, then you have to take that on, own it, own all of it. But if you really want to be a person that's going to change, like, don't even try, like his response using that, don't fight hate with hate. Well, first of all, that lets me know that you recognize what you said was hateful. That was the first thing I saw. Don't fight hate with hate. Oh, so you recognize what you said was hateful. Mm-hmm. And now what you're experiencing, you feel that it's hate towards you. This is correction. What you did was wrong. This is public chastisement. Just like when you're a kid and your mom have to whoop your ass in the store because you did something she told you not to do.
Okay.
At the house, you knew better than get your black ass on that stage and say that dumb ass shit. So now that you've shown your ass, you got to get this ass whooping.
And then you get mad when people are reacting in the way that they're reacting. You call Dia Lupa culture vulture, which I find we should definitely not weaponize that term. We should stop weaponizing terms if shit does not go our way. Yes, she made a statement. You did a song you came on a song with her.
And these people lose their money.
People are protecting a business at the end of the day. And that's all it.
But but I'm telling you, like, this is so much karma, because the same way that he was during the Meg and Tory thing, like, man, this is business. I ain't got nothing to do with that, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
You can't be mad now that you was some shit, and the people that work with you are just like, oh, this is embarrassing. Are you not embarrassed?
Are you not embarrassed? Like, no.
This is embarrassing. I don't have nothing to do with that.
I don't blame Dua Lipa.
Baby, the baby would have been off that song so fast. Like, listen, I made whatever money I can make off that, but we're gonna drop this one.
And Victoria Monet said, hey, if you're trying to take him off the original remix and put me on, like, let's get rolling. So, but back to, because I know we were talking about T.I. getting involved. Yeah, T.I.
Like, he's problematic. First of all,
he did a conversation with Zoe with the
I Am Zoe.
Didn't they be trying to reach the pick me ass? And I'm not trying to call him pick me, but like,
but you did.
I mean, it is what it is. But the thing about it is, though, they talk to the gay people that's not really going to challenge them. And I felt like Zoe was saying some real shit. He wasn't trying to receive it or whatever. But my thing is, like, this whole narrative that we got to have common ground. We got to talk. We got to reach these straight folks. Fuck that. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of trying to educate people constantly on the same shit over and over and over again. I'm not having no conversations with y'all. People was in my comments. People was really texting me in the DMs because I was posting about it all week, saying, "Oh, well, what did he do? Or what did?" I'm like,
"What did who do? T.I. or what did who do?
The baby do? What did the T.I. do with the boost?" I'm like, "What didn't they do?" Right. I mean, you're on social media like me,
right? So
I can't keep on informing you straight folks. I'm sorry, I don't want to generalize because I know a lot of y'all. There's some of y'all that get it, but there's a lot of y'all that don't.
Yeah. So ZZ just commented and said, yes, it is really bad for Dababy. So y'all want him canceled, or can this be a learning lesson? Shaking my head, sad.
The learning lesson.
Thank you, ZZ, for your comment. So even with the T.I. response and his conversation with I Am Zoe or Zoe, what I won't do is I will not. I'm not going to bash Zoe because he's entitled to his opinions like everybody else is. Like we're entitled to ours. Whether I think his stance is problematic, diving deeper into the conversation, I kind of understand now what his position is, because Zoe had his own issues. Was it like a month ago or a couple months ago, where he got on live and said that he only dates DL men, doesn't date openly gay guys, and now later learning that for him, his attraction to straight men is also tied to his body dysmorphia or him being afraid to transition. So for him, it'd be like, well, if he transitions, he'd be a black woman who likes straight men. He'll be a heterosexual. It's like, it's a lot to unravel. But in the conversation, I think that, and I made a statement about this on my page and on TikTok as well, like we're in the middle of a great awakening. So there are going to be a lot of truths and stuff like revealed during this time while vibrations are high that we may not like. But in order for us to change things, we do have to be able to address really, really, really hard and uncomfortable situations and truths in order for us to work together to build towards any type of collective understanding. And so it's going to be a lot of shit that people say and do that are going to be like, I can't believe you did that in the 21st century. However, because we know this has been a problem for so long, we have to be able to be willing to walk into the space to have conversation. Everybody doesn't have that bandwidth. So or that patience, because like
I don't.
Right, like we've been doing this for so long. Like you should know what's going on, but some people.
My entire high school career, people have dissected and tried to ask, or what makes you tick, or what makes you this, or why y'all do that. And I'm done. I'm tired of explaining shit to y'all. Right. Google is free.
Right. And the same way you feel that way about you're tired of explaining, there are people on the other side of this lifestyle that are tired of trying to learn. Like it can be overwhelming trying to, because literally when you're living in your experience, this world is reflective of what you are feeling and living and breathing and things like that. And so everything else is very much, it can be touch and go. Everybody's not empathetic, which means that you can't put yourself in someone else's shoes and actually absorb their perspective of their life, their lifestyle, their choices and things like that. Some people do not have the mental capacity to do it, or to do it well, to synthesize and regenerate. People don't, on the most part, don't have that, because we're pulled in so many different directions. We got our own shit to deal with. But in this moment, because it's happened on such a large stage, and I'm not talking about Rolling Loud, I'm talking about on social media where the world can see it, it does create an opportunity for us to have these types of conversations, to explain about HIV and AIDS virus, where we are with it now that we weren't in 20, 30, 40 years ago. Him to get on stage and say, if you don't have HIV or AIDS or any of those other sexually transmitted diseases that'll kill you in 2 to 3 weeks, I was thinking like, damn, is there something else? There's something new that kill you in 2 weeks? What are you talking about?
Yeah, this is communication. People with HIV and AIDS, with people that take the medicine and the meds. You told me this. They live longer than people that don't got it. They live healthier lives than.
Right. So I was so confused as to where this old ass message came from. Like, was he in like 90s Source Awards, or like where'd this come from? But it does create an opportunity for us to learn. For those who are willing, you have to be willing to learn and to be open. And the same thing has to happen for us too. We have to be willing to listen to these people say this dumbass shit. So it gives us the opportunity to teach. But it also gives us the opportunity to learn as well. Like, we have to understand the world we live in, and that some people just have limited views, and we have to be able to adjust and move around it. Just like they have to be willing to like accept this, we adjust and move around it. So to your point, ZZ, yes, this can be a learning lesson. And unfortunately, part of that lesson that he may learn is that when you get on your platform, when you have arrived at a space where you are influencing, the potential to influence a generation of people, you should want to lead. You should want to lead with integrity, and you should want to lead in truth, and you should want to lead in a space that moves us all forward, socially progressive, so that we all live together, not just for you, but for your kids and your grandkids. Because you don't know if your son or your daughter is going to be a lesbian. You don't know if your grandson is gonna be trans or gay, or could someone in your family could catch a STD, and that could be offensive. Like, you don't know any of these things, and so being very, very careful about how you literally ostracize people. Now, I get it. In rap culture, for rap concerts, you're trying to get people that hyped. It is common to do a call out. I know what a call to action is. If you got $100 in your pocket, make some noise. Some people could say that's and capitalistic, like, because now all the broke people mad, like, well, I ain't got $100.
Well, I ain't got $20 in my pocket.
But that's if your coochie clean, blah blah, it's supposed to be empowered. Like, ain't nobody with funky coochie don't not put their hand up. Like, it's supposed to be. I know what it's supposed to be, but unfortunately, Dababy, it did not give what it was supposed to give.
Yeah,
and for T.I. to be this, I feel like T.I. want to be Cliff Huxtable so bad, and he's just doing it so bad.
He that uncle that just want to get involved in the conversation. Don't know that they used to have good sense back in the day, but now they just completely off. Because I'm gonna give it to T.I. T.I. made some good sense back in the day. He definitely, people will go to him for advice and everything, but
good sense for things that he's overcome. Like, stay in your box if that's the case. Like, you can talk to me about taking guns off the street and what drug pushing has done for you, or what the street life is, and getting out of that. He used to rap about that, about saying, I made my money and I moved out the hood. People don't want us to do good. You know what I mean? Like that. He used to rap about stuff like that. That is something that he has lived and experienced. And I would rather you try to coach in that space, but don't quit jumping in other grown folks' business as if you're an authority on something when you're just as ignorant as the people you're trying to defend. Like, you don't know shit about this. Like, you're coming from a place of ignorance, which means you're not helping. And bringing in someone else who you think is going to validate your opinion, it looks very biased. It's just, T.I. should focus on these charges that he has. T.I. should be focusing on these allegations. I mean, the same thing for Bootsy and all of them. Like, these three people who have now interjected themselves into a conversation about HIV/AIDS, homosexual lifestyles, all these things. All of you are known to be sexually, physically, or emotionally abusive to women. And so the fact that you all are so moved by homoerotica is weird to me. You're a straight man. Why do other gay men bother you so much if you ain't gay?
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. People that really are straight, they have no comments on anything that we're doing. It makes no sense. And I think I said this on a TikTok video. I said when Lil Nas X came out with Industry Baby, I'm like, well, it looks like the homophobes they know how to, they acting right. They not saying nothing. I said, but let me not speak too soon. A week later, this shit happens. This was all calculated. I know I asked, I said, what does Lil Nas X have to do with all this situation? But he was brought up. People were still salty about that video. And I think y'all really need to get over. Y'all have the power to not watch things.
Mm-hmm. Well, kind of.
They don't got music video premieres no more on TV. Like, everything is on YouTube now. Everything's on the internet. You click if you want to see it. You get what I'm saying? People was reposting it. But it's like, whatever you're searching up, it's going to show up.
They watched it. Boosie probably watched it every day.
He probably watched the thing every day and probably was doing stuff while watching it. Okay. And speaking of
all these niggas jailbirds. So y'all not gonna sit here and make me believe that all these niggas that done went to jail. So y'all really got a problem with gay people? Because I know that if you were gonna be locked up for more than a year, you was gonna fuck one of them. I'm just
allegedly. Okay.
Or if not, being able to befriend one, like people that got to be honest. Like, sometimes when people are triggered on this, a lot of homophobia, it either comes from unknowing, comes from ignorance, or it becomes from it's like a negative reaction for something that they're struggling with or that they've had to struggle with. I don't know what Boosie's story is. I just know he was in jail for a long time.
Well, there was this person on Twitter, and he's very popular on TikTok, and said that they had a secret relationship. It was I was like, you really?
Let me tell you.
let me say allegedly.
But even in gang, like street life and gang culture, it's like when you're out there in that particular lifestyle, gay, straight, or whatever, they all shooting together, y'all doing the shit. They'll tell you like, I don't care about that. Like, get your life, do your thing, because the focus is on something else. Like you both have a common struggle, and you're both you can focus on something outside of that. But I'm just like, Boosie, you bounce in and out of jail. Like, what happened to you while you were in there?
And
like,
I think,
did somebody kick your booty? What happened? Why are you so pressed? Like the way that Boosie jumps in trans people business is alarming. The way that he jumped in our business is so.
And let's just get into that. Let's get into that rant, because first of all, he made a statement. The reason why he did the rant, because he was trying to find any reason to come for Lil Nas X, was because he said that he was going to get on a stage and perform naked for charity, in which I scoured Lil Nas X's Twitter.
I'm like, who did you say that to?
I didn't need to, because he didn't say it. What he said was proceeds for the Industry Babies video will go to people that cannot afford bail. Now that can't say much for this the baby video that he came out with in prison, or whatever, that prison video that he made just now. But the proceeds that Lil Nas X was doing for Industry Baby was going to people. That was going to charity.
Right.
Okay, he was not performing live on nobody's stage naked. It's not legally possible. And the fact that I was actually going back and forth with people on TikTok and social media saying that is not ethically like possible. Like, y'all believe, and this is where I go into like I'm trying to tell people, or try to explain to people, you can't, because they already have it in their mind, and they're not going to change their opinions. Their opinions are always going to be the same. And you're wrong. It's that whole live, when I was at work, first of all, when I was watching that show, I'm like, not Boosie done came out and said something. You called him the F word. And my thing is like, Instagram. What's going on? Y'all looking, you know how y'all looking like, and then y'all saying, LGBT people are bullying us, and this, that, and the third, and why they, and all this stuff is happening. Y'all know how y'all sound like? Y'all sound like Trump. Y'all sound like Trump. That's why I said black people. There's a lot of black people that are conservative as fuck, and it's like, it's not conservative as far as Republican being Republican, but like conservative. They have conservative values, and it's like, we are the last people that should be being like that. I don't get it.
I think that, it's such a fine line to walk when we are a nation who prides ourselves on freedom, right? The older you get, you realize that we have regulated freedom. It's not real absolute. I am a person that believes in individual sovereignty. And I know that may be a hard, tough concept for a lot of people to grasp, even in the system that we live in now. But I believe that people have the natural born right to do, feel, say, express however they feel, and so choose. So any of these talking heads at the moment, whether they're right, wrong, because right and wrong is a moral issue. We get to choose what is right, what is wrong. But removing the right and wrong from it, they have the right to express and feel how you want to feel. Thank you for showing me how you feel. I appreciate you for exposing that part of yourself, because it allows me to know how to operate around you. And it also shows me people who agree with you and how they feel. If they, it allows me to better navigate my own life. And I think that for gay people, we've had to do that for so long. There must be horses outside. My dog is acting crazy.
Oh, Lord.
But hold on one second.
Okay, so this will be the perfect time to read these comment.
Hold on, because I'm moving into that too.
Okay.
It's an opportunity for us to actually discover what does freedom look like, and what does it mean for other people. Like with Instagram and these social media platforms in the past couple of years, trying to find a way to make them safer spaces for other people. It's like, we had the alt-right putting all this misinformation out there for the past 5 years. Now you have this happening right now in the industry, in the entertainment world, where someone like a famous rapper can spew misinformation about HIV and AIDS, or rappers can jump on Instagram Live and spew and literally engage in hate speech and not be shut down by the services, because you have to tiptoe that line about what is freedom of speech. Are they free to feel this way? Are they free to say these things? And is it harmful? Does it harm other people? And it's like, okay, well, we know that Instagram ain't going, unless you playing somebody music and they trying to make sure that they don't have to pay no extra coin. They'll shut down. You play a Beyonce song, your live getting shut down in 5 seconds.
Okay.
Period.
Uh-huh.
But people get on Instagram and they express what they want to express, and then it goes viral. That makes money for Instagram. So you have to think about that too. This is still a business at the end of the day.
Well, same thing we talked about with Kevin Samuels. They're not going to stop Kevin Samuels. Yeah. He make millions of views.
Right. And being polarizing at this particular time, it's like, okay, well, we have so many different opinions. How do we shape the conversation so that there is something positive and progressive coming out of it? So you're going to need, we need to hear these things. Like, know who your enemy is. Like, you have to know what's in the room if you want to navigate in clarity and in light. I think for a while we've been bumping around in the dark, running into each other and being harmed and hurt because we're not really aware. We don't see what's standing in front of us. I appreciate Boots. I don't agree with anything he says for the most part. Very disappointed as a person from Louisiana who grew up listening to his music. I'm still, write me down all the things. But it's like, as a person, your personal beliefs do not align with me. And they don't align with me as a person, as an individual. And, ZZ said, they pick and choose. Do you think it's Hollywood also to bring out Tory Lanez? Cardi B went on a rant wishing AIDS on a black man's mom. So something is different here. Cardi B was wrong in that statement too. Like, there was backlash that she received from saying those things. Did it end her career? It clearly did not, because she actually has a team, a PR team that she got that learned how to coach her through these sticky situations. And, some of these other rappers should probably take note and just learn how to just be quiet. When you say something and it shocks the room, yes, you open the door for a new conversation. However, don't keep throwing fuel on the fire. I think I tweeted, I was like, I just need Dababy, Boosie, and T.I. to just get a podcast already and just be problematic Negroes and just seriously. Because I need, just like Howard Stern or any of these other Bill O'Reilly, all these people, thank you for letting me know and showing me who these people are around me that agree with you. Who are the people around me that agree with you? I said in my post, we want to cancel people. We want to cancel Dababy. We want to cancel all these people. It's like, well, no, allow them to show you who these people are in your life. Who are the people around you who hold this type of violence, who say these same type of things, who hold these same types of beliefs? Because there's an opportunity for you there to create dialogue, or there's an opportunity for you to excommunicate. Choice is yours. But it's still, what he said was some bullshit. Boosie's always, I feel like Boosie's just problematic. A lot of these people are looking for attention because they can't release good music anymore.
Hello.
And just trying to maintain and be part of the conversation. I don't know. I think Boosie has a podcast coming out with Flavor Flav, the little father and son podcast.
It's not father and son podcast. Child.
I mean, yeah, that's what they call it.
I don't need them messing up the airways over here in podcasting. Okay, they can do it, but I feel like it's not like, okay, they're going to be in their own collective spaces on podcasting, and then like they're still going to heavily post that shit on the Shade Room because the Shade Room is negative shit. That's fine. It's going to be posted on blogs. Like, we're going to hear what they're going to have to say, and
that's fine. And we will react to it.
Podcast is different too, because I could say a lot of things on here, and my podcast will not get deleted.
That's true, but you're also very mindful about what you're saying.
Yeah, that too. But
and also, our goal isn't to like incite people. We're literally giving our reactions to what these people who are making all these rich people. I think about it that way. When we get on our show and we're discussing these topics, we're really discussing the people who have moved into a position in their life where everything that they do is under a magnifying glass, and they get paid top dollar for us to discuss how this is shaping and shifting the culture. when people look at Hollywood, when I was growing up, Hollywood was a fantasy world. Everything in Hollywood was fake. My mom taught me that really early on, is that this isn't real. It's not real. It's just, this is entertainment. Right. And growing up as a younger entertainer, I had to remember, like, okay, well, what happens on TV is for TV. Real life is something different, until I got older and realized, like, okay, what's happening on TV is now shifting the culture in real life. So there's a responsibility. There's a social responsibility that comes with being one of those people. If I were ever to become famous, because I recognize what I know what my power is now, and I'm just, I'm just me. Mm-hmm. I understand that when I speak, my words have the power to change things. You know what I mean? My ability to just be in a room creates the space for other people who are like me to also walk into that room and that space comfortably. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you get to that large platform, understanding your power, a lot of these people, a lot of these entertainers, a lot of these people who come from depraved situations and move into these spaces with money, that's why you hear them rap about it so much, because they're not used to it. They're not used to having this kind of money. And the only thing they can talk about is the low vibration and low level stuff that they're used to. You got a whole bunch of money, but you rapping and talking about shit that people who are poor can relate to, and that they're spending their money so you can be richer. And you're not teaching them anything. And you're just as ignorant. They're just paying you to be you're being paid to be a fool. Yeah. And Boosie is a fool. And he ain't getting paid to be the fool. That's the problem.
That's the thing. Like, he's not even getting Instagram. The CEO of Instagram already talked about. They said no, he has too many public nudity things. I guess because he having girls showing their bodies and stuff like that. Like, your Instagram is compromised. What are you doing? Like, you have nothing going on, and it's like and child, we going in circles talk about Boosie, child. I ain't got time for it. But the main thing you did say was people should have a certain responsibility when they're on TV. And I would say this is kind of, I think now, because the internet is so big too, I think these three people have a big influence on people. And I think that a lot of their followers, a lot of their followings are going to have that same rhetoric as them. And this may bring back like some kind of, beef between people in the LGBT community or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I feel like people should have freedom of speech. I think that should never be compromised. However, it's a slippery slope, because it's people just saying shit like that. I'm like, child, I can't. Child. And this is like a week-long topic. Like this carried over. This is a big conversation. I think I'm happy to see, Lil Nas X is not really sweating over this shit. I think he definitely made some tweets, kind of joking, still promoting his industry baby or whatever. Like he said a lot of people just on his what, and a lot of people like gay on a low, which is okay. But like, it's not really phasing him that much, and I like to see that, just my whole thing on it, yeah.
But Mike, if we're gonna cancel anything or cancel anybody, we have to focus on canceling the culture, and that comes with the people that you deal with in your daily lives. Because these people who are getting paid to be fools, or not getting paid to be fools on these public platforms, they're there for a reason. And we should utilize every tool we have available, to push for a better society. And that requires us to deal with some of these really tough and sticky situations, opinions, critiques, all those things. They're all very important and valid. Yeah. Even if we don't agree.
Yeah, I think we should shift the focus on trying to cancel these people. I think, well, Dababy is definitely, there's a lot of things that's being stripped from him. And I mean, he was taken away from this UK live stream performance thing. I mean, a lot of people, Boohoo Men, some kind of clothing brand or whatever, he had partnered with them. They're not partnered with him anymore. I'm not telling people, I'm not going to get on this platform and tell people to like cancel him. Like, let's stop. Let's all do it together. I'm just letting y'all know I ain't listening to another goddamn song by Dababy ever again. And that is on period. A lot of people, that's just my personal opinion. You can listen to him if you want to. That's cool. The deal breaker wasn't that he was homophobic for you, and that's cool. That wasn't your deal breaker. It's cool. Anyway, let's move on since we're on news and music. Cardi B, because I know we brought up Cardi B earlier.
Right. Oh, and shout out to all of the celebrities who popped in. All of the pop royalty decided to speak, but we want y'all to be quiet too, because a lot of y'all don't speak on to other things. You know what I mean? But shout out to them. Cardi B made a threat to do what?
She made a threat to she made a threat to be taken off of Wild Side and she'll stop promoting it or whatever. Essentially, there was a bunch of fans. Either they were Normani fans. I'm not going to say that they were Barbs because we got to stop blaming Barbs all automatically when it comes to Cardi B. But there was fans that were saying that she shouldn't have been on the actual song or that it should have just been a remix and yada, yada, yada.
Yes, agreed. That verse did nothing. Nothing. I had a conversation with my best friend, who it's always funny when we start talking about, like, she sends me Cardi stuff all the time. I'm just like, girl, it's not going to, I said what I said, it ain't changing. And I'm the one that put her onto Cardi. I'm the one that, like, you should listen to this girl. Like, she's an interesting personality. And, you know, she's being groomed to be into this space and blah, blah, blah. But one thing I'll say about Cardi, she's a great, interesting personality to watch. I think that TV is her thing. Rapping just is not. Like, it's just not.
Not rapping, not her thing.
Well, no, I mean, like, she's good.
I think
she's good. She's good for what she's good for the level that she is at. You know what I mean? Now, as far as her being an amazing, like a major pop star, that's different. Fame is different than talent. You can be famous and untalented and not talented. I feel that considering girls that are in it, and not to be one of those people that keeps comparing, but Cardi's verse was subpar. It was very much giving an 8th grader wrote it. There was nothing new in it.
8th grader wrote it.
Everything that she said sounds like shit that was pulled from other songs, and we didn't really need it. Like, the song didn't need that. It ain't need it. And it felt like it was last minute. I felt like she recorded that the night before the video shoot. It just didn't sound
good.
It's a bit lazy.
I mean, it wasn't to me, it wasn't really a memorable verse on the song. I liked Normani's part. I like everything about Normani's the song. My whole thing is, I don't know about that. I mean, I think Cardi, I've definitely liked some of Cardi's songs before. I know I'm very critical of her, but I know that she has the capability of coming up with good music. I think that not every artist should be paired together. And I feel like this is one of the cases. Like, these are two polar opposites.
Well, I mean, I think it was just returning a favor. And Normani was in WAP video. So Cardi was returning a favor.
So it was like, it felt very businessy. It didn't seem natural. You know what I'm saying? I can bring up a couple of features and collabs, but we're not going to do that because then you'll say I'm trying to compare. We're not going to do it. But the thing about it is, though, it is what it is. She got mad at the fans saying it, and she threatened to take herself off the song and that she won't promote it or whatever. And I think that, and I said this on a TikTok video. I said, y'all celebrities, and I wanted to previous celebrities have to understand that people are not going to like everything that you put out, and people are going to be critical, and you're going to get air quotators, critics. It's going to happen. I think certain people just feel like once they get up to that status or whatever, they just feel like everybody's going to love them always. And it's the thing about it. Thing about it is, though, I don't know. I mean, I what you think?
I think that Cardi is very sensitive. And, you know, one of the things they tell you when you get to this level is to stay at the comments. Just do what you got to do. Make your music. Promote that. He's like threatening to stop promoting it. So what? We don't care. You're going to end up hurting yourself. And you're hurting an artist that you worked with. Like, if I was Normani and I saw artists that I just worked with saying because of what the fans said, they're gonna they're gonna jump off the song and stop promoting. I'm like, no, we did this together. Why would you allow other people to bully you off the song? Or why would you take this to heart? Push the song, push it even harder. Do the critiques, like push it harder. People are talking about it. And I just think that like there's so much immaturity that's happening right now within the hip hop arena. There's so much immaturity. These people are acting like fucking kids, like a bunch of spoiled, ignorant kids. And it's like, it's sad. It's really
and y'all
sad.
can't sit there and say, "Oh, she's pregnant and she's doing this."
So
She's
maybe
always done this.
pregnant.
She's always done rants. She's always felt away, and she even came out with an apology and saying, "I'm sorry, I still have my old ways." This woman has no character development. And I know this is in a movie where this is real life. It's real life people, but still, everybody has character development. I don't care. You don't have the ability to change, and that's the problem. ZZ said, honestly, I agree. No shade. Wasn't feeling it. Something was missing, period. I understand the business part of it, though. But no, yeah, exactly. I feel like it seems manufactured. It didn't seem authentic.
Yeah.
That's just what it gave. And that's just people's opinions.
Yeah.
Get over it. Stop looking for people. Because I get mean comments all the time, child. I'm on TikTok now. There's people that's mean as hell on that damn app. Talk about my appearance. Talk about, oh, I'm a Cardi B update page. I'm a hater. This, that, and the third. I don't look at it. I may give it a comment, a reply. I'm not losing sleep over it.
Right. Child.
And we both Libras. Libras don't give a good goddamn.
She does. She's very sensitive.
I don't know. She must be close to Scorpios or something. She must be close to Scorpios.
She's very emotionally responsive to things, and that's okay. Artists are very sensitive about.
Hey, auntie. She on. This is my aunt just commented. Sorry.
Hi, Kia. Yeah. So, Cardi's sensitive about something. What's new?
Yeah.
Next.
Let me tell you what's next. Miss Scarlett Johansson. Now, you said you watched Black Widow, right?
I did. I saw it a couple weeks ago.
Let me tell you, so you went to see it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. In the theater in IMAX. I was
what theater you went to?
And immersed in it. I went to the AMC at
Newport
Mall. No, like Jersey Garden. Was it Short Hills? It's one of the malls. They got the AMC theater.
Oh, I wouldn't know. All I know
is Jersey Garden. Whichever one got the theater in it. The one in West Orange.
Oh, see, I don't know those spots.
I don't know. Child, I went somewhere. I think it was I believe it was Short Hills. I think it was Short Hills Mall.
Well, as you know, I watched it.
Still learning all my places.
Yeah. Well, as you know, the actress Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney. And she filed a lawsuit in Los Angeles Supreme Court Thursday that alleged that Disney breached her contract releasing a high anticipated superhero film, Black Widow, to streaming services. In the contract, it promised a theatrical release, meaning it's going to be released in the movies.
Yeah.
The bulk of their pay, they get paid like $20 million, I guess. She got paid $20 million to play the role, to actually act in the role. But I believe like a lot of these MCU actors, they get a deal where they get like another lump sum of pay depending on how well the movie does in the box office. This is why people like Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, they get like 80 million or 90 million a movie, right?
Right.
Because it also does good in box office, which the movie did well in box office its first week, and then it fell off after weeks later. Like this movie is not doing well. And the reason is because of streaming. People are streaming this. I know I watched it on Premier Access. You pay that $30 one time, and it could be like 5-10 different people, packed up in your house watching it. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't pay HBO Max. My mom pays for it. So right. You get what I'm saying? They didn't make that much. However, Disney make a lot of money on the new subscribers or whatever. However, the actor didn't. And she's claiming that, it's because of streaming. People are also pirating. You can literally find a way to download the Premier Access, put it on sites, and people were pirating the shit. So it was like there was a lot of money lost in this movie, and Scarlett Johansson is blaming Disney for putting it out on streaming services. Scarlett Johansson is not the only one that's complaining. There's a lot of movie companies, Warner Brothers, complaining to HBO Max that all of their films are were free on HBO Max. There's no premiere access. That shit comes out, you can go on HBO Max right now and watch it. Like Suicide Squad, that's going to be on HBO Max. You don't got to go to the theater for that. Like a lot of these movies are losing money, and people are starting to complain. And now Scarlett Johansson is trying to sue Disney, which is a really big deal because that's a big company to go after. I mean,
they got the money. I'm like, they'll probably just pay her. Just pay it, child.
Not just pay it, child. Not trying to rhyme. Here's your check. Go home now.
Right. Just pay it. Pay it.
Not just pay it. Well, no, I mean, I think they're definitely. I feel like the streaming services, like the Premiere Access and the on-demand plays, this is like benefiting us because we don't have to go nowhere. In some instances, we ain't got to pay for it. Like, I think that they should start. I don't know. They got to find some. It's same thing with streaming, like how streaming for music or whatever didn't really pay artists, and now it kind of does after every millionth view or download or whatever. I think they should start doing that with movies now because I think this is not going to change because this is the future. Like streaming is the future,
which is true.
And being that like the pandemic is happening and there's possibilities that, you know, we might go back into closing again. Like it's not going to look good for a lot of these films.
Well, child, all I can think of at this point is just get y'all money up front, considering that this is the era we in. Like I know that, but this movie was filmed, 2 years ago before release? Yeah. So they probably had no idea that we were all gonna be stuck in the house and then the world was gonna change and that streaming services was gonna boom because niggas was gonna be at home. So she probably couldn't even negotiate from that space early on. But I mean, asking for an adjustment, sometimes with a suit, if you have to file a legal action against them, that means that they weren't willing to come to the table on their own to renegotiate the agreement that you have. Because all I have to do is we need to renegotiate this contract based off the fact that circumstances have changed since we made this agreement, right? And if you're not willing to come to the table, then I'll legally bring you to the table. Because that's what happens when you sue somebody. They force you into arbitration so you can try to settle it out of court. You're gonna like, oh, you got your side, you got your side. Is there any way we can meet in the middle? So you can settle this out of court and go about your business. So I'm pretty sure that it ain't gonna take too long, but I'm pretty sure Disney's just gonna cut the check because you're gonna need her in those other Marvel movies.
Yeah. Well. I mean, they killed her off in Endgame, and
some of them got killed off in Endgame, but that doesn't mean that they're not gonna go. You know how these fucking comic book movies go. They're gonna go back. They're gonna
on it and put it back. Yeah.
They're gonna. I mean, this gonna go on until we have grandkids, Darren. Scarlett Johansson gonna be old as hell talking about the new Black Widow. So I'm just like, girl, cut the check. Cut the check. Give her another $20 million. Tell her to go home.
Tell her go home. And my thing is, I said this on TikTok. I was like, they would not do this to Robert Downey Jr. A lot of people agree too.
So we're talking about gender inequality as far as the.
I mean, it's definitely some undertones there.
Ooh.
It's definitely some undertones there. I mean, the fact that, because there's no reason why she shouldn't have got that much. Like, there shouldn't have been no other reason why because the movie was decent. A lot of people did not like Captain Marvel. However, Captain Marvel still made $1 billion in the box office. This movie made less, and it was a better movie. So, I mean, it has all to do with this whole Premiere Access and people pirating the movie. It's not because this didn't do well. It wasn't a good movie. So it's a lot. I mean, I hope to see her get paid, and they said Disney lawyers are real tricky too.
Child, listen.
Look, they said the only way they'll get sued and tried and all that is if someone get eaten by a crocodile at their place at one of their whatever. That's what somebody said. Like someone like got attacked by an animal, I guess, or a crocodile over there in one of those amusement parks or whatever. They said that's the only time they'll give out any child. Disney got some good lawyers, so I think they're definitely going to fight this as hard as they want to. But they might just cut our check, but they might not. Anyway, speaking of Marvel, since we're on the MCU, esque topics or whatever, Black Panther. So we got a leak of a set design from Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and there was actually like text. There was text in Wakandan language, and somebody was able to decipher it. I'm like, yo, these fans are immaculate. They can, y'all can read Wakandan text, like damn. And it said, "Long live the king," and they're acknowledging that T'Challa has died. And originally I was like, wow, okay, so they're going to kill him off, which, I thought they were. Let me tell you something. The way Disney is, the way they did Carrie Fisher when she played Leia in Star Wars or whatever, they literally had old parts from other movies and they put her in this last movie. I thought they was going to do that here, but, they gracefully killed off this character. And I think this is going to be a step in the right direction. So I'm happy to see what they're going to do for Wakanda Forever. I think it's going to highlight on the city. It's not going to be too much, which I'm kind of worried about too, because I'm like, there's not going to be like a superhero though. There's not going to be like a, like a superhero arc at all. Like, is Shuri not going to step up to the plate and become Black Panther? Like, there's a lot that we don't know, but I'm just, I'm curious and I'm hopeful of this sequel. So.
Well, I mean, the comic book, they, T'Challa dies and his sister becomes the Black Panther as part of the storyline.
Yeah.
That's in the comics. So, it's unfortunate that Chad Boseman died in real life, but art imitates life and life imitates art in this instance. And so, eventually it was coming that the Black Panther T'Challa was going to die so that there could be a new Black Panther. And that we've known that for over a year. So,
Okay, I get it. Let me think. I guess it's my turn. Let me stop. Anyway,
right. So I know earlier before in our pre-show, you had expressed that we didn't have movies.
Oh my god!
We were reading in the archaic text, also known as
archaic text,
also known as comic books. But yes, and I'm not a Marvel or DC buff or anything like that. I have come to appreciate Marvel, as far as like their movies and how they bring these stories to life. But it's consistent with the storyline in the comics. So I'm excited to see Black Panther 2, and I think that we'll probably see an even greater turnout than we did when it first came out.
Yeah, because people want to know what's going on.
Yeah, well, shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to them, child. And I think there's like a couple movies they did say they were going to come out with the What If series, which is now we know it's like a little cartoon series that's coming out in a couple weeks. Spider-Man No Way Home is supposed to be coming out this winter, I think in December or whatever. And a lot of people are hoping that the original Spider-Man, like Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, is going to come together, because if you watch the end of Loki, spoiler alert, they opened up the multiverse. So this is the next phase in Marvel, which is going to be great, and I can't wait to hear about it. So that's all we have for today. This is a good little morning show. This is a little hot girl morning show. You're taking off your mic.
No, I'm readjusting my t-shirt.
Oh.
But yeah, the world's a mess.
The world is a mess.
We're here to help make it messier. No, we're here to help clean it up.
Okay. Yeah. It was a lot that's going on this week. I wanted to just, I felt like that topic really had to be talked about, and it had
absolutely
no other topics were really important enough, because I was like, child, yeah, this done took the cake, honey. This whole thing. But yeah, let's try to do better. Even though I have, I made a post on Facebook. I said, child, I'm losing faith in humanity every day. I'm tired of y'all.
Keep the faith.
Keep
There's
the
just
faith.
a lot of work. There's a lot of work that we have to do, and when we're willing to come together to do that work, yeah, sometimes it's gonna hurt. We're gonna get scars and bruises. They're gonna be fighting. There are gonna be people who are gonna react. It's just like dealing with trauma. We, to be honest, like, not to be too deep, but we are a traumatized people. Like, the society today, we are so traumatized, and how people react to trauma can sometimes be harmful to themselves and to others. But you have to work through that trauma. You have to be able to address these hard and ugly truths. You have to be able to bear them, and you have to be able to work through them. And everybody's not walking with white light, and you have to be aware of that. But for the white lighters that are out here who are doing that work, stay with it. Don't get tired, because the world is really depending on us. The future of the world depends on people being able to work together and to, for us to preserve ourselves and each other. The first universal rule for humans is to survive. In order for us to survive, we have to make sure that we're creating cultures and environments and utilizing time and space appropriately for us to work together to ensure that we can withstand and survive. And we can't do that when we're attacking and trying to take out each other. It works against us. It's going to work against us in the end. History has shown us that nothing really good comes from the removal or the denigration of other people. It just doesn't. Nothing good comes from it. Only things that are good, it comes from when we have collectively decided to shift energy, positive energy, into the atmosphere, to maximize that energy and to watch and see what that unfolds. Negative energy spreads a lot faster. That's why we get to talk about these topics, because this is some negative ass shit, but it spreads a lot faster than the positive things. One of these days, we would love to be able to talk about Kyrie and his humanitarian efforts that he's been doing. I think Pakistani, he just put more water there or something like that, or solar panel or something dealing with the environment there in Pakistan. Like, that's a major accomplishment that a black basketball player has done. That's something to be celebrated. But unfortunately, the mess
is what's trending.
The mess trends because people are more attracted to the negative and the low vibration, low hanging fruit. And we have to do better at balancing the scales and pushing for the common good. But it's been a crazy roller coaster week, and we got to have these discussions. So we are here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm so glad that we had people who watched on YouTube this morning
and commented.
Yeah, very, very good.
I need to start doing morning shows. Come on now.
Okay, let me find out.
I don't mind at 10 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. And I just want to say to my listeners that's on Apple Podcast and all the other podcast sites, y'all showed the fuck out last episode. Thank you so much for the listenership. It was amazing. We made good numbers last episode, and I hope to see you guys again today. And with that being said, I'm your host, Darren Green.
I'm Prince Derek Dahl. Stream Chop on Amazon Music.
Period.
iTunes. The video is coming. Go stream Chop. And follow me on Instagram at the Derek Dahl and TikTok.
And that's the end of the episode. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
If you like what you heard, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button and give us a 5-star rating. As always, enjoy the convo.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's get off on here. Bye, y'all. Bye, live.